Hey, welcome to the Gov Shack in the afternoon. So happy to have you guys with me. It's noon here on a Thursday. I know usually it's Wednesday, but I've got a crazy week last week, this week, and next week coming up with the holidays, trying to raise money for my January report. So I'm out doing a lot of different stuff, talking to people, trying to move things forward. And boy, is stuff happening. As I talked about last night, Bruce Blakeman has now joined the fray. Welcome to the field. He is now joining the fray on the Republican side, so that now there'll be at least two people fighting in the Republican primary and two in the Democratic primary, and then me. So even that, who knows what could happen now? Things are getting a bit juicier, as I like. Everyone's recognizing the most important piece, which I've been saying for months. Stefanik cannot win, and Hochul is weak. Those two things I've been saying forever. So now people are going, wait a minute, maybe Larry's right, and we should act. Yes, Larry is correct, and you probably should act. But the best way to act is to support me. That is the best way, by watching this show and, of course, clicking the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. It does matter here. This is YouTube. This is Rumble. This is all of the things. And clicking that button known as like does matter tremendously. So if you would do so, I'd appreciate it. Today, I'm talking about something very specific that other people really aren't talking about. And this is, how does someone control AI? Now, why does this matter, right? You might go, Larry, so what? This is kind of a national thing, Larry. Why are you concerned about this here in New York? Oh, no. I am. And there are many reasons why I am. It does affect New Yorkers, obviously, affect the entire country. But there's not going to be anything nationally that we can do. Or in theory, but I've got the way around this, in theory, nothing we can do locally or statewide. Why? Because Trump has deemed it so. Now, many of you didn't understand this, and I told you all before when it first came out. You guys are like, we got to regulate AI and blah, blah. I said, you're never going to regulate AI. It's not going to happen. And they were like, well, no, they just made a rule where just the first 5 years. And I said, within the next 5 years, AI will already have dominated everything, so it's irrelevant. That's why they're doing 5 years. And he was like, see, they shot it down. They stopped it. People told me that. And I said, doesn't matter. You're never going to regulate AI ever. It's not a thing. It's not going to happen. And you might go, Larry, you're stupid because you think AI is great. I never said any of that. What I said is you're never going to regulate it. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. Why? Why are we never going to regulate it? Because it's so great? No. Larry, you love AI? No. Because AI is a weapons system. I've been saying that forever. It is a weapons system. You should imagine AI the same way as a nuclear bomb. I'm not joking in any way, shape, or form. You should think of it as a weapon of mass destruction. That's how you should see it. But Larry said we should regulate it. No. Would you have said that in 1945, 1944, when the Germans were thinking about getting the bomb, when the Russians were getting the bomb, and let's just keep it down and wait till they get the bomb and we won't. No, you wouldn't have said that. You're like, no, get the bomb. Yeah, you get the bomb. Get it. So yes, the country's thinking the same way. Now, just like nuclear weapons have horrible possible outcomes, just like nuclear weapons might still have a horrible outcome. Still true. You're not wrong on this. It's true. AI too could have horrible outcomes. Absolutely. Totally possible to have horrible outcomes. And we're not going to stop it from growing, because here's the issue. Imagine for a minute that, the evil guy, China, right, is going to get this, get AI faster than us and dominate the world or whatever, assuming that's true. Well, what would they do? Well, they would probably destroy our economy. Well, how are they going to destroy our economy? If you have the right AI, you just manipulate the markets and destroy another nation's economy. Like that. Within 30 days, you could destroy someone's economy. That's what they could do. So why would they not do that? Why would they not destroy the American economy or the Russian economy or the German economy, whatever, insert economy here? For one reason: we would counter and destroy theirs. The reason why there hasn't been a nuclear war is not because people are loving and care about each other. That's not the reason. It's assured destruction. Mutually assured destruction. That's what stops it. That's why we haven't had massive chemical warfare or biological warfare after World War I. Once people saw it, they stopped. Well, no, Larry, the Nazis would have. For those who don't know, Germany in World War II had stockpiles of chemical weapons. Stockpiles, never used them. Even in the end, never used them. Yeah, because we saw that. We didn't want mutually assured. We didn't want it going back and forth. That was the reason. Even they thought that. And you might say, what? Yes, that's a fact. If you think I'm making up, look up any of this stuff. It's absolutely true. So we had the experience of chemical warfare in World War I in mass, and we never did it again. We had nuclear weapons, World War II, never did it again. Something's going to happen with AI, whatever that thing is. Someone's economy is going to be destroyed, or something terrible is going to happen, or a battlefield is going to be a massacre, or something like that, and then mutual assured destruction. So on a global level, the only way we can defend ourselves is by being able to destroy our enemy. So that if they attack us and destroy our economy, we can destroy theirs. If they destroy our power grid, we can destroy theirs. Yes, they can destroy our power grid. Yes, that can actually happen. So you're saying, wait a minute, Larry. Are you saying there's no control? I'm not saying that. Oh, of course I'm not saying that. Of course I'm not saying that. But let me show you something so you understand where I'm talking about. I'm not making this up. Trump has just deemed it so. And I understand why. I can't stand how it's done, but this is what Trump does. But I understand why.
Now to today's Money Watch. President Trump is planning to stop states from regulating artificial intelligence. He is expected to sign an executive order blocking states from creating their own regulations. Now, some states have passed laws to address the possible risks of AI, but on social media today, the president said, quote, there must be only one rule book if we are going to.
Now, this is a great spin. There must be only one rule book. That's an amazing spin. It's not true. That isn't the issue. It is a good spin, and it's true. It's nice if that happens, but you can survive with multiple rule books. It happens often. But would it be better for business to have one rule book? True. That's an accuracy. It'd be better for business to have only one rule book. That is accurate. However, not required. He's acting like it's required. He's saying that because he doesn't want to go, if we don't do this, China and or Russia, or probably China, or insert India country will do it, and we're screwed. He doesn't want to say that.
To continue to lead in AI.
Yes.
AI supporters say state regulations could slow down innovation. Others fear that deregulation could allow companies to avoid accountability if their programs hurt consumers. Now to today's Money Watch.
Is critical. That piece she just said is critical. Avoiding accountability. We have to have an answer for that. True. So of course I have an answer for that. We have to have an answer for that. Of course we do. But just so you don't think I'm making this up, this is the other part I want to bring up real fast, just so you're aware of this. This is a random search on YouTube of AI on the battlefield. Ukraine, rewriting the rules of war. Israel, AI weaponizing artificial intelligence. Yes, that's what this is. All about AI. AI weaponizing. It's everywhere. And this is all recent. 4 months, 10 months, 7 months, and different people. IBM Technology, Aaron Cohen, Johnny Harris, Wes O'Donnell. These are different people saying the same thing about different areas, right, of the world. This is the future. This is literally, as I've said before, a weapon system. Within the next year or two, AI will control the entire battlefield. Right now, it's working to control the battlefield. We're not there yet. We're not there yet, but we're on our way, right? We are absolutely on our way. This is Israel doing it. This is America doing it. Ukraine doing it. Each side is doing it. This is just overall AI attacks in general.
Sounds like a bad sci-fi movie, right? Well, unfortunately, in this case, it's actually happening. And we can expect to see more of it going forward. Businesses are using AI to improve customer service. Customers are using AI to research products. Unsurprisingly, hackers are using AI to, well, hack. Agents powered by AI are equipped with the tools to write code, attempt logins, generate fake videos, and much.
All those things. This is the future. If we do not have something, to fight it, we're in trouble. Okay, so what have I said? Things don't sound good, right? Well, we have to have regulation. Well, this is what Kathy Hochul, our current queen, Queen Kathy, first of her name, destroyer of the economy, banisher of conservatives, worshiper of the jab. She, first of her name, she has decided that we're going to control it because we're good, so we're going to have government control it. I'm not joking. And she made a special thing in Buffalo, and Buffalo is going to be an AI center. Yeah, it hasn't worked, won't work, is a joke, will never happen. And I don't want government controlling it either. You might go, but Larry, isn't government better than business? No, they're the same. There's a difference. One is the monopoly with a monopoly on force. One is a monopoly with the monopoly on products and services or information, and both work hand in hand to devastate us. No, it is not the way. So, Larry, how can we do something that we can have some kind of accountability, some kind of control, something? All right. You have heard me before talk about New York becoming an energy powerhouse. You've heard me more than once talk about building nuclear power plants in New York State. Why do I say that? There are so many reasons, but I'll give you a couple of them that really matter. AI is one of them. Yes, Trump has signed it, or will, if he hasn't already, signed an executive order saying that you cannot regulate AI. Correct. True. But what does AI need more than anything else? Energy. Energy. More than anything else, it requires energy. So, okay, President Trump, I can't regulate AI. Got you. I can regulate energy. I can do that. I can have New York State become a powerhouse of energy to where there's nuclear power plants all over the place. 12, 14, 15. Already in New York State, there's at least a dozen sites that had like coal plants or something already. We could hook right in, put nuclear power plant there, at least a dozen, if not more. And we could build new ones as we keep going on, right? More and more. Larry, why do we want to do that? Okay, reason number one, we'd want to build nuclear power plants just for jobs in New York State, no matter what, just jobs. Off the bat, that's number one, but that's not AI. Just to get jobs, awesome. Bring people here to build things, yes. And to create jobs in a nuclear power plant. Nuclear power plants create hundreds of jobs. And for each job that's created in nuclear power plant, 4 support jobs are created. So if it's 100 jobs nuclear power plant, it's 500 jobs. Let's keep going. 200, 1,000. Keep going. Build that up. More people come, more money. Awesome. But not just that. When we build out our power plants, we will be able to bring AI to us. Yes. Wouldn't you like to put your data processing center or your blockchain mining facility right by the nuclear power plant? Plug that right in, knock it right out, get it all done? Of course you would. Who wouldn't? Great, let them come. Now, right now in New York State, you're thinking, why would I want that to happen? Data processing centers and blockchain mining centers, there's not a lot of jobs in that. True, there aren't. Maybe a dozen. It's hardly any. They're very specialized. There aren't many. And they'll probably bring a bunch of people in. True. It's not a great business model. It isn't. So why would I want them in my area? Not just that, sucks up water, sucks up energy, makes everything bad. Why would I want them? True. If instead you were right next to a nuclear power plant that was pumping the energy into them, the energy is cheap. They're happy to have it. All good. Well, Larry, the water's bad. You have nuclear energy to clean the water. Oh, so I get clean water? Yes. And energy is so cheap? Yes. And I get these data centers here? Yes. And I get nuclear power plant jobs? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. All yeses. All good. But there is an extra bonus to this because some people don't want nuclear power plants near them. I know, it's true. Many people, particularly in upstate New York, do want them. Some people don't. Okay, some people are scared. Okay, no worries. You can simply vote via plebiscite if you want to have that nuclear power plant in your area. And here's how we do it. 50% of that nuclear power plant is owned by the people. Yes, Larry, you're a socialist. No, I'm a voluntarily co-op person. That's what I am. Voluntary co-ops is fine. You vote. Do you want it? You do it. You take it. And now it's in your area. 50% of that, to include voting rights and profits, goes to the people of that municipality and or that county, depending on how you set that up. So now what does that mean? Well, now we bring data centers in, or we bring in whatever, Bitcoin, blockchain mining. Well, aren't many jobs there. But you know what there is? A bunch of energy that they're going to buy. And now that percentage is a cut that goes back into the community. Do you want to make that into a situation to where that money goes into, say, a public bank, if you want to, a municipal or county public bank to support small businesses with cheap loans? Okay, you can vote for that if that works best in your community or your municipality. If you want to, take that. Good idea for you. Do you want to say, no, we don't want that? What we would like is we want a sovereign fund for our county or for our municipality that will help pay for things like schools or fixing the potholes, whatever. You can do that if you want to. All good. You can choose locally what makes sense for you. No, I don't want any of that. I just want a check every year. I want a dividend check to every, resident who's been there for the full year. At the end of that year, they just get it. Take it. There's your check. Enjoy. Basically creating a form of UBI, just like Alaska's, that is not taxpayer funded, that only comes from profit, that only comes what you vote on. So you're like, hey, wait a minute. So I'm getting a check. The more energy this thing puts out, the more nuclear power plants I have, and the more data centers I have. Bring them on. Bring them on. Put 2, 3, 4 in my county. Put 7 in my county. Go ahead. I'm getting a check. I'm good. I'm getting cheap energy. I'm getting a check. Bring them on. As many as we can get. Let me help out. I'm going to go work there too. Life is good. All of a sudden that starts happening. All right, you may go, Larry, that seems good, but now AI still controls the world. Oh, no, it doesn't. Note what I said. Voting rights. Yes. You want to control AI. The only way you can control AI, the only way, is being able to pull the plug. If you can't pull the plug, you cannot control AI. That's how it works. So if each of these communities has voting rights, and many of them do, and they work together, they can decide, we're not going to give you energy anymore. Why? You're doing things we disagree with. You're doing things that are wrong or bad or unethical. You're stealing our information. You're creating a CBDC. You're doing the thing that we don't want. Pull plug. Yeah, you can do it if you want to. Now, if you go, no, it's good. We don't care. Right? Americans and New Yorkers are fine with whatever AI is doing. Great. Keep taking energy. Keep rock and rolling. We're not. Pull plug. Or we want to modify it. We want to negotiate with you. Now we have some power. Why? We control the energy. You have some leverage. These people don't care about your protesting. It is irrelevant. No one gives a shit. Go protest all you want. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Do it all you want. You'll feel better. You'll act like you've done something, and you'll go home and be controlled by AI anyway. Okay, good for you. Good for you. Whatever. Up to you. But it's not going to work. We'll vote for the right guy or gal. Well, you should vote for me. That's true, because I'll give you this. But that isn't the point. That's not going to work either. What's going to vote is now we have some leverage. And even if we never use it ever, having that leverage means now we have the ability to pull the plug. We have the ability to destroy and end them. Mutually assured destruction. Can they use AI to destroy us? Yes. Can we pull the plug to destroy them? Yes. That's the balance we require. The balance we require in the world and the balance we require in the state. That is the way we can do that, right? That's the way we can make this work. Now, so what does that do? That solves many problems. Number one, it gives us some leverage over AI companies. It gives us leverage over blockchain miners too. But Larry, if they hear you say this, they won't come. Yes, they will. They will come for cheap energy. Yes, they will. They'll come. Yes, if we build it, they will come. Yes, that's how it works. Remember, business is not evil. It's apathetic. It doesn't care. It goes to what makes the most sense financially. Give them the opportunity to the cheapest energy in New York State, and they will rush to New York State. New York State will become the energy capital of the world. Let me say it again. New York State can become the energy capital of the world. More than Texas. Take that, Texas. More than Texas. Texas, we worry about gas and oil. We'll be nuclear power in the whole area. We'll be sending energy to their grid. They'll be paying us. Upstate New York will have a renaissance like there's no tomorrow. Financing will be working in New York City as it should be. It is not, and it should be. And upstate will be manufacturing. Most of it will be AI and obviously other manufacturing plants. There'll be robots. There'll be automated manufacturing plants. Why? Because we'll have energy and the AI and the data all come to New York. Now, here's the best part. For those of you who know New York State has amazing universities. It's true. RIT, Syracuse, Buffalo. These are great universities. Cornell, waiting for something like this to happen. So where all those kids who are getting these great degrees can take their happy ass right to a job right in New York State and start building stuff right away with almost unlimited energy. All right, not unlimited. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But yes, this piece becomes important. This will happen in New York State if we let it happen. It can. So what will it do? One, handles the AI worry. Handles the job issue. Where the jobs going to come from, Larry? Well, go get them if you need them. Here's how you learn them, right? The new ones are coming in here. Go get them. And here's the best part. These are like working in a nuclear power plant. That's not like a retail job. It's literally a blue collar job. So go do a science blue collar job. That's amazing. But not just that. There's service jobs all around that. So whether you'd rather be in a service job, you'll get them. There'll still be other jobs like marketing, delivery, front office. There'll still be all those things too. right? Not as many because AI will help you, but you'll be working alongside AI. Why would you want to work outside AI? Why would you be happy? Why would you not be angry at AI? Because the AI dollars that are going into your power plant is paying your rent. It's paying your bills. You're like, I love AI. Blockchain's awesome. Why? I bought me a new car. That's why. That's why you would love it. Of course. You just went on vacation. Why? Because the AI check came. You love AI. The AI check came. You're good to go. No problem at all. That's how we make this happen. But again, we have leverage. Will we have to use the leverage? Maybe, maybe not. I don't care. We haven't had to use the leverage, right, of our nuclear weapons, except once we kind of, the Cuban Missile Crisis back in the 60s, we kind of, flexed a bit of muscle, then we stopped. Now, is there currently a realistic chance there's going to be a nuclear war? Maybe, but not as high as it used to be. Why? Because now we know it doesn't work. How do we know that? We're seeing it right now in Ukraine. We're seeing it right now in Gaza. They're fighting conventional war. Vietnam, conventional war. Korea, conventional war. Nuclear was not used any place. No place. Gas, since World War I, hasn't been used. Well, that's not true. Here or there. Usually against civilians. But in mass in war, you haven't seen it since World War I. I'll say that. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. It has been used against civilians. But in mass, in war, it has not been used in mass. So we see that also. And nuclear weapons, haven't seen it. AI, the same thing will happen. We can make that shift, right, to do that and happily do it. Versus people going like, I don't like AI. I still see people in the education world going, AI's dumb. We got to ban it, blah, blah, blah. Never going to happen. Since it's never going to happen, how do we control it? How will regulate it? Never going to happen. I just showed you. The president just said, no, you're not doing it. Stop. Okay, got you. That's where I am. So how do I find an answer when I understand it's not going to go away? It's not going to be banned. It's not going to be regulated. Well, I can't do the AI. I can do the energy. I can do the energy. That's how I gain leverage. And one state's going to do it, no matter what. One state's gonna. It's either going to be Texas or whatever. I don't know what this is going to be. I mean, it sounds like Texas to me, but I don't know. It needs to be New York. We need it. We can do it. We should do it. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. All right, let me grab a couple of comments. There are so many comments here. I do want to grab some of those and walk down that road. I hope, at least for those of you who are listening, it makes sense what I'm saying. I hope at least it makes sense what I'm saying. All right, walk down a couple of these roads, see where we're going. Dee says it's 2 weeks till Christmas. I know. She goes on to say, Gov Shack is on all Larry Sharpe medias. True. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, Rumble, and TikTok. If you don't follow or sub to the medias, you want Stefan to win. She's right. She's right. Oh, even worse, you want Hochul to win. You want Hochul to win. Even worse. Yes. Missy says, if you're a New York resident, your donation of $5, $250 counts 6 times. $10 equals $60. Make every cent of your hard-earned money count. LarrySharpe.com/donate. She is correct, guys. Look, I give you this information. I think it's fun to chat. But at the same time, don't forget, if this is still a fundraiser, if you guys can donate, please donate. Anywhere between $5 and $250. If you're a New York State resident, will count 6 times once I get matching funds. So please do that. I have to raise $500,000 from 5,000 people. When that happens, matching fund kicks in, $3 million kicks in. This becomes a winnable race. Larry, I've already donated. No worries. Then volunteer, right? And when you volunteer, what we found out is the email is often going into junk or spam. So please check your spam and or junk folders to make sure you got the email, because we have meetings every Wednesday night or Tuesday night. Every Wednesday night. So yes, please do that if you can. I appreciate it. If you want to pick up some merch, there is some there. LarrySharpe.com/shop. Shirts, hoodies, and bumper stickers, and also mugs. So please go ahead, pick those up if you want to wear them and show them and support the campaign, guys. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to this channel or page that you're watching on, please do so. Missy's right. Listen to her. She's smart. Listen to her. All right. We'll keep going down here if I can. All righty. All right. Nathan says, good afternoon, Larry. Correct. AI is not going anywhere. So we need to be on par with the rest of the world, if not ahead. This is the piece that's critical. Yes. Nathan, you are correct, right? And everyone who's in the know already knows this. And that's why there's going to be no regulation. It's just not going to happen. You can say, Larry, we'll say this or that. It's not going to happen. I'm just being forward. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying it's real. This is good. AI's here. It's going. If you're my kids that I talk to will often say, my teacher says I can't use AI. I say, your teacher's wrong and stupid. Don't bother doing it. Use AI all the time. Just use it. The world's, and they're like, well, but why? I said, when you go into the real world and someone wants something done, they're going to go, get this thing done. Don't use AI. No, they're going to go, get it done. I don't care how you get it done. Just get it done. So if in the real world, they will say you use AI, why would you not want to do it in school? That's supposed to be teaching you to work with the real world. Right? So yeah, use AI. It's fine. In the coming years, about 5 to 10 years, you're going to watch teachers being replaced by AI tutors. You're going to see that happen. I know some of you don't like that. You can be mad at it if you want to. That's also going to happen. Why? Because the wealthy will do it. And when the wealthy do it, they'll follow the rest. What will that mean? The wealthy will use individual teachers or tutors that will run AI individual tutors. That's the future. The future is teachers controlling AI tutors for each kid. Here's what we know from education to be absolutely true. Again, every policy that you put in education, some work, some don't, whatever. But here's the one that always, 100% of the time, produces better outcomes. 100%. Individual tutoring. Individual tutoring always, 100% of the time, produces improved outcomes. Whatever that is, you always better with an individual tutor. Every time, 100%, no exception. That always works. Well, what's AI going to be? An individual tutor. So why wouldn't teachers learn to use that to assist their students? And they will. That's just the next, 5, 10 years. Now, teachers unions will fight it. Systems will fight it because they always do, because they do. What does that mean? More private schools that'll just ignore them. And the wealthy will go first because the wealthy are going to be like, I don't care about your stupid public schools. I'm wealthy. I will put my kid where the hell I want. And the wealthy will put their kids into schools that will have 1 or 2 teachers and a bunch of private AI tutors. That's what they'll do. And eventually the rest of the world will go there. But of course, because our system is not meant to help us, our system is meant to support itself, the system, it will punish our children so the system can work. Let me repeat that. Our system will punish our children so the system can keep working. Teachers and unions will care far more about whether their systems can keep working as whether the students can be helped. They won't care. That will be tertiary. You will watch the wealthy do it first, and eventually the rest come. You are correct. Absolutely. Charles says, AI needs to have Isaac Asimov's laws of robotics applied to it. You can, but the problem is somebody won't. That's the issue. Somebody won't. And when that happens, when that happens, you will need to have some form of control. Again, the control that we have is pulling the plug. That's it. If we can't pull the plug, it's done. And here's the problem. AI knows that. It's not like AI is dumb. It's the opposite. It is very smart, right? So clearly, so by default, it will know that too. So we will have to always be vigilant on how we can pull the plug. That will not always be easy, right? It won't. And we'll have to have our own AI that will support us. Yes. So we'll have to use AI to assist in fighting the AI, just like we have a normal way in a weapon system of as we get better, they get better, right? Drones are a good example of that. Drone warfare expanded in the Ukraine. So now I have to have drone defense, which will then have stronger drone warfare, more defense. AI will be the same thing. And it is in perpetuity. And it will be in perpetuity. This is the new world. This is what's happening. We have to have some kind of control. Energy right now is our only way. Without that, we will have no control. So yeah, you're correct. I'm looking over at Rumble, and one loot says teachers will become obsolete. I don't think that's true. And I said that because in every single case throughout history, no matter what we've done with technology or ideas, there has always been a desire for an individual to have an individual experience with another individual. What I mean by that, I'll give you an example. The example I think is entertainment. There are so many ways for us to be entertained. So many. From AI to video games to books to videos to movies to sports. So many things that we can be entertained by. So many of them. Games, board games, you name it. Card games. There's so many ways we can be entertained, right? Watching smart hot guys like me, also entertaining. That's all good, right? But we still do, humans still go to plays. We still go to plays. Broadway is still rocking and rolling here in New York. People still go to local plays, local fairs. We still do it, even though we don't have to. If I'm being entertained, I could find something in my house or around my house to entertain me. I don't have to go in to see a Broadway show or a play or a local fair. I don't need to do that, but people are doing it still. So I do think we will still want a teacher, but I think it'll be a teacher at the top and then AI throughout, and then a teacher who steps in every once in a while. Everyone's teacher steps in once in a while to be that human being, be that touch. I think you'll see that. I don't think obsolete. I just think there'll be, if you need 10 teachers now, you'll need 2 or something like that. There'll be a reduction in teachers. That's what I think. So yeah. The one that goes on to say, since the scamdemic, true, kids complain there's no reason to go to school to learn. They're not wrong. The reason they go to school is often to socialize in person and to meet someone, to feel like you care, to do the thing, right? There is value in the individual teacher saying, hey, do the homework or learn the thing. And you build a bond with the teacher, so you're expected to achieve the thing. My kids use AI every day. I do too. And when AI, you don't have a bond with AI. It's just a tool. Now, some people do fall into a bond with it. Some do, but generally speaking, they don't. It's a tool, and it becomes like a thing you use and do. You're not responsive to AI, meaning you're not going to care if you're disappointed, if that makes any sense, right? If AI disappointed me, you don't care. But your teacher, if you have a bond, you do. So the teacher will be required to say, hey, achieve the thing. Use AI to achieve the thing, but achieve the thing. I do think there will be a reason for them to connect. Now, they may not have to go to school every day. That may change. School may become once a week, right? Or something like that. It might become that. But the problem is our culture. School isn't for learning. I know people are going to get mad when I say it isn't. School's daycare. Our culture has made school daycare. So if our culture changes to where one parent can stay home, maybe because AI is doing work and you can do work from home, then you don't care if your kid's at home because you don't really need the daycare. If you don't need daycare, why go to school every day? That's true. But if you need daycare, that's what schools become for so many people in America. Americans use school as daycare, right? I think we know that. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just true. So if we change that though, Lute, that where now we have, we have more parents being able to stay home, either because their job, they can work from home because of AI. They use AI. Maybe they only work once a week or go into the office once a week, whatever the case may be. When I teach the student goes to school once a week. Maybe everyone's just going into the office to touch humans, not that way, but to touch them, once a week. Could happen. Culture has to change too, is my point. But I don't think teachers are going to go away, not for a very long time. That's just my view. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. So looking over on Instagram, David says, you should put the donate link in the description of your social media accounts until you stop accepting donations. Not a bad idea. Maybe I will. I didn't want to make it about giving money, right? I want to make it about information, connecting to the campaign, seeing value in what I'm saying, understand that I want to connect with you. But maybe you're right. I'll tell the team about it. Maybe we should. I put together jigsaw puzzles and watch anything on streaming when I don't read a novel. Look at that. See, so many ways for people to entertain themselves. Jigsaw puzzles, true. Streaming, yes. Reading, yes. All ways of entertaining yourself. But humans still want to go out and watch people dance around on stage. We just do. Maybe you personally don't. I don't know you personally. Maybe you don't. But clearly, lots and lots and lots of humans enjoy that by the millions. So, yeah. All righty. I appreciate that. Keep going. Lunatic is in the house. How are you, brother? All right. Let's see if I can go down here. I'll grab some more of these. All right. D says, only one rule book. How effing authoritarian does that sound? Yes. Yes. But again, he's not wrong in saying that it is easier for business when the rules are the same. That's true. It is easier, but not required. But yeah, it's easier, right? I mean, you go state to state, you go country to country, nation to nation, rules change. Would it be easier if there was one rule for all? Of course, it's easier. but not required. Businesses somehow still survive. You're selling in Japan or selling in Germany or selling in America, all different rules. They somehow survive. It can be done. But that's what I'm saying. That's something he's saying just to say, because the reality of it is mutual assured destruction. That's reality. Lunatic says AI is already weaponized. True. 100%. And most people don't know it because most people don't think that weaponized AI is the Terminator robot that's going to come kill you, right? That's how they think of it. They think of it like the movie. Now, will that happen? Yes. I mean, they already have robots, right? So just put a gun in their hand. So that's going to happen for sure, right? No doubt that's going to happen. But people think, oh, until that happens, lunatic, what's wrong with you? I didn't see Arnold Schwarzenegger with a machine gun. We're all good. And clearly that is incorrect, but they do believe that. I think you're right. It is already done. People don't get it. So, all right. Anna Marie, AI boss, who is also AI. Thank you, AI, for joining the chat. AI is in the chat. Will AI be blamed for the collapse of society, which will make it easy to usher in UBI? Maybe it's here by design. All right. Many of you who know me and know what I've been talking about, I've been talking about some form of UBI for years. I brought up the concept of UBI coming into America 5 or 6 years ago. You guys remember, I talked about it. You guys are like, but Larry, why are you talking about UBI? It sucks. I'm agreeing with you. I'm trying to make a world to where we don't need to go to UBI because you are right, AI boss. If we don't do something, AI is the future. You can be mad at it all day. Tell me how bad it is. It doesn't matter. You can go out and complain. If we don't find an answer, we are going to go to UBI, which will collapse society, which AI will blame, and our overlords will crush us, saying that it's all AI's fault. Yes, that is the future if we don't find something else, which is why you see me yapping every day, talking about something else and not going, Hochul is evil and bad, Mamdani, or Trump is evil and bad. And that's bullshit. That means nothing. That means nothing. What I just talked about was a way of having local communities control their own communities and create their own type of UBI if they want to. That's not taxpayer funded. That isn't from the government. That they can do as they see fit. That they just have to sell stuff to make it happen. They're all getting a cut. That's way better. And they vote and decide and have power. All you guys who tell me, Larry, socialism is about the workers owning the right means of production. Okay, then why aren't you voting for me? I'm the only guy talking about that. Mamdani's not. Mamdani's talking about centralized control and a Soviet style. I'm not talking about that. Stefana's talking about, I don't have a plan. I'm just mad. Give me money so I can go make stuff. That's her. And Hope was like, I'm your mom. Obey me. That's her. So I'm not any of those. Not any of those. So yes, I think it is here by design, no doubt. I think we will go to UBI if we don't do something. I'm trying to find an answer that's better than that. That is my goal. And you've seen it. If you're paying any attention to what I'm doing again and again and again, I've been talking about that. Yes. Lunatic thinks it's already passed it. Lunatic says society's already collapsed along with every other centralized system. They didn't need ad for that. Not yet. No, it is on its way out, but not gone yet. And why do I say that? A system doesn't collapse until the majority of people don't believe in it anymore. Trust is what keeps the system going. You know this, right? And still, most Americans still trust the system. I mean, silly. It's, again, I'm saying reality, whether it makes sense or not, but most do. So it's not yet. When the majority go, this isn't, no, then yes. When we start ignoring, resisting completely in mass, then it's collapsed. Until then, it actually still exists. It exists because we believe it. Why does money matter? You know this. I'm preaching to the choir here, Lujack. Why does money matter? Because we believe it matters. That's the reason. It's not backed by anything. It's just a piece of paper. But not a piece of paper. It's just, I don't know, dots on a screen. We've decided as a whole, not me and you, but as a whole, we've decided as a nation, as a species, we decided these dots mean something. So they do until they don't. At one point, we'll go, why do I care about this piece of paper? Why do I care about these dots on the screen? What? At one point, that will happen. When that happens, that's when it's collapsed. That's it. Once that's happened, but not yet. It's not happened yet. D says, send a campaign super chat by going to LarrySharpe.com/super chat. Larry will read your message during the show. Yes, that is true. If you want to, you can do that. Remember, this is still a fundraiser. I still want you to hit the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo, because it does matter, so we can share this outside. I do want you to super chat if you can. LarrySharpe.com/super chat. Larry, why can't we use super chats on YouTube? Because it's YouTube and this is a campaign. So they don't let me. So no. If you want to super chat through the campaign, plus it counts too if you live in New York State, towards matching funds and towards me growing. So please do that. If you just want to donate, please do so. It is LarrySharpe.com/donate. Give what you can give, whatever that is. What I'd like you to do is go monthly. Can you do $5 monthly, $25 monthly, whatever you can do, $10 monthly. Do it monthly for a year. I'm giving you a year. Give me a year. That's what I'm asking. So please do that if you can. All right. Let me grab some of these comments if I can. All righty. AI boss is still here. She goes, learn AI and how to prompt. You can keep your job, run towards it, don't run away from it. I think that's actually true. AI boss is kind of biased, but doesn't make her wrong. Does not make her wrong. Still true. She should do that. 100%. Yes. All righty. Let's see here. Lunatic says, are batteries better for energy storage or are capacitors? You know, this is I actually don't know, but this is the point I like. If all of a sudden New York becomes this, and you see it start happening, we start building nuclear energy, we start building power plants, what will happen? Smart people will rush to New York State. People who are getting educated in RIT, in University of Buffalo, in Syracuse, those people will stay here and they will figure out what is the best way of doing things. We don't have to worry about these stupid solar farms or these damn windmills. We could dump all of them. And we'll figure out how to get rid of them without destroying their planet, which is what's happening now. Because once they collapse, it's just more garbage, right? We pollute the planet more in New York State once the solar panels are no good anymore, and once the windmills collapse. So it's even worse. So we'll get rid of those. We'll figure out what the answers are because we'll have to. That's the purpose. The youngsters will use AI to fix. The youngsters will use AI to find an answer to how to get rid of these stupid windmills. We won't need them anymore. And how to actually get rid of them so where it's actually good for our planet. It isn't right now. They'll figure out a way to get rid of these stupid solar farms, which, again, aren't good for our planet or good for our farmers right now. Figure a way to get rid of them. They'll figure it out. Why? Because there'll be a reason to do so. There'll be a purpose. They'll figure out what's better. Is battery technology the future? I don't know. They will figure it out, and they'll use AI and energy to do so. That's what I want. Look, as governor, I don't have to have all the answers for every single thing. What I have to have is a way to motivate people to find all these answers. And they will. People want to solve problems. People want to do the right thing. But when they feel like it doesn't matter, they don't. When they feel like nobody cares, they don't. When they feel it won't be recognized, they don't. But when I say, here's a reason, here's how. The perfect example of this is Kennedy saying, let's go to the moon. And he knew that was a 10-year project. He said, let's go. Why? Because it's hard. We'll figure it out. I don't know how. Kennedy didn't know how to go to the moon. He couldn't have built a rocket. He had no idea. He knew if he got the right people, he would. I say the same thing. So Strayer says, Larry wants voters to hold the cards. Yes. What if we don't do that? If we don't have co-op ownership in energy to where local people can have control of their own local areas, if we don't do that, we will happily accept our centralized Soviet overlords. We will, because there'll be no other answer, because there'll be fear and chaos. And when you have fear and chaos, people beg for a strong man, and there will be somebody there to beat. Guaranteed, there's always a strong man ready to go. I got you. You need an iron fist? Shit told me. I got an iron fist right here. They will always have an iron fist. There's lots of iron fists. They're all over the place. Always someone's got one for you if you want one. There's always one for you. So they will absolutely have that iron fist for you. So but if we control it, it's different. But not just that. There's a more important piece of this. It's based upon the AI piece that I'm talking about. But there's something more. This goes back to what Lunatic talks about. The idea of broken systems. Why are we following this? Why do we care? Once you create in a culture, and that's the key spot I keep talking about. Lunatic and I fight about this all the time. He's like, we got to do this now. I'm like, the people aren't ready, but we got to do this now. But the people aren't ready, Lunatic. They just aren't there. That's what I keep telling him. And he's like, yeah, I got to do it. I'm like, they're not ready. This is how we get them ready. Imagine if you are in your own municipality or your own county, and your vote, Your vote to how we use energy counts. Your vote to how we use the money from our power plants, whether it goes to a fund, whether it goes to a check, whether it goes to a public bank, whatever it does, right, matters. Not just that, with the other plans I have, as we talked about before, not in this show, but many other shows, the actual dollars, tax dollars that are collected from your local community, your budget starts at zero. You can decide what you want to pay for, how you want to pay for it. You might decide at one point, lunatic, why do I need taxes? You might decide something else. You've got all this energy to create blockchain. Why don't you create your own localized, if you want to, currency, voluntary currency? You can, it's legal. Yeah, you do that. Well, then why are you paying taxes? You're passing the money around locally. Do that too if you want to. Yes, you could do all those things. You hold the cards. You can decide. And you might go, well, Larry, I don't want that. I like using the greenback. I don't work. I like what, then don't change it. I'm not ordering you to do anything. You can choose. Once that begins to happen, lunatic, now we feel like, yeah, why do I have this big government? Why do I need this? I can survive on my own. I'm doing it right now within my own community, within my own municipality, within my own county. With people who I actually know and I hang out with, because once a week we go to school and once a week we go to this thing and once a week we go to that thing. And then we have to go vote every 30 days on this or on that. And I matter. And what I say, and they listen to me and I listen to them and we make decisions and my community and county matter and my municipality matters. When that begins to happen and we do hold the cards, we are able to push back. We are able to say no because the culture changes. And that's the issue. We start making that happen. Yeah. And this helps with that too. Right now, the vast majority of New Yorkers, Americans, I shouldn't just say New Yorkers, Americans, but we're talking about New Yorkers, cannot imagine a world without Kathy Hochul telling them what to do. The vast majority can't. They can't imagine a world without government giving them stuff. They can't. It's unimaginable to them. We have to make them go, wait a minute. This could happen. That's the key. Sherry goes on to say, to add lunatic, energy storage systems are developing at a fast rate. The best system today might not be the best next month. True. That's my point. Yes, absolutely. All right. Mike says, New York State needs energy anyway. Yep. Per Hochul Department of Energy, New York needs 7% more energy by 2030 than we can create. New York is about to have California brownouts, so AI is a bonus. True. And I would argue, Mike, it's worse than that. Because AI is going to be a thing. Blockchain is going to be a thing. Blockchain mining. So we're probably going to have brownouts earlier and probably more of them. But yes, you're right. I'm just going further. You're correct. Further. Unless we make a change immediately. Yes. Skeleton King says, is it true we can power a city with a nuclear battery instead of a pill? No, that's not true. But maybe one day. Maybe one day. We'll see. John says, AI will outsmart government regulations one day. Yes, but that's why you'll need AI to also make regulations, right? Mutual assured destruction. And why do I want that? Here's the reason. And I'm actually very much for this. What I mean by this. Right now, if you go to any regulatory body, most of the rules are just utterly and totally just random and arbitrary and make no sense. I don't know, like, we'll match funds from 5 to 250, but not more than 250. But if you give more than 1,000, we won't match any, but you can't give more than 9,000 total. But if you give under 5, that's like rules they just make, right? They make it all the time. It's arbitrary. And they're also applied arbitrarily by, I'm an inspector and you're an inspector, John, and you think X and I think Y. Could you imagine if we could use AI to streamline all regulations? Which ones are actually used? Oh, these are not used. Erase them. Gone. These haven't been used in 20 years. Erase them. Gone. These have produced no value whatsoever except taking money from people, but that would not be an issue. Erase them. Gone. And now how do we apply? Apply for the thing. The AI looks at it. Now, could the AI be biased? Yes, of course. How you program it, garbage in, garbage out, of course, it could be biased. But if the AI is biased, it wouldn't be based upon race or gender or color or whatever. It's going to be based upon whatever the algorithm says. We could hopefully have another AI, this is our other point, mutual destruction, to check that to see if it's biased. Oh, it is. people in this area are treated differently because of whatever, some bias it has. Okay, adjust it, move on. Done. Right? So again, you'd have 1 or 2 humans over it, and the rest would be go. So you could cut government regulations, speed up regulations, and just about only one thing: safety. That's it. That's it. So is this regulation stopping people from dying? No. Why do we have it? I think you could do it. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm okay with it. Totally fine. So John says Texas also has brownouts. Yeah, I know. Yes. So, all righty. Nosy says, oh my, I'm gonna get fired. I'm late again. You always late. I'm kidding. AI is here to stay, like it or not. Yes. True. It is here to stay. I'm glad you guys like that. All right. Roger says AI will cause massive unemployment, Larry. It might, and that's my point. I'm not saying you're wrong. My problem is right now we have no answer for that. This is why the idea I keep bringing up, which is the idea of having ownership in the AI. I'm sorry, you're not gonna have any AI because the 6 rich people in the world are gonna control that, or government's gonna control that. So you're not gonna have that. But having localized control in the power, the energy, having that. Well, now you can create your own UBI if you want to, or create ways of making jobs if you want to. You could even, if you wanted to, up to you, your community would decide, do you just decide to make jobs because you want to keep people busy? You could do that. Again, Roger, you would have the power as you see fit to do what you think is appropriate in your municipality, your community, or your county. And the best part is people would do things differently. Some community might go, you know what we need? We need AI to make up jobs for us because we're not doing anything. They might believe that and do it. Okay, is it going to work? I don't know. We'll find out. Are the people happy doing make work jobs to stay busy? Awesome. Do it in other counties. Is it a disaster? No one shows up, no one cares? Okay, that doesn't work. Don't do it. Now, I don't have to know that. Again, I don't have to know everything. The people, I do, but I don't have to, right? So people can just go do things. We'll figure it out. In small communities, it will work or it will fail. And maybe there's a modification. Maybe it's good if you have this amount and then that amount of this and this amount of that. Maybe we'll figure it out. Is the public bank, as I know you like, Roger, is that the best answer? Is a sovereign fund a better answer? Is a check going to everyone a better answer? Okay, people will try it and we'll see what works. Maybe there's a combination. Maybe you should have a public bank and a small UBI. Maybe you should do neither. Again, I don't have to know it. What matters is people will have the power to start making it work. There's no other way of making this work besides that. I don't see it. If you see something else, you tell me. I'm open to it. I don't see it. AI Boss says, if you're a teacher, learn AI and utilize it. Get away from government schools and go open a micro school and have it waiting list and have a waiting list every year for a handful of rich families wanting to teach their children. Yes, I'm actually considering that. I'm already a teacher. I could easily teach wealthy kids all day, all night, and make a goddamn killing. I could easily do it. So yes. So I'm already a teacher, done it before. It's something you could absolutely do. I agree with that. It's not a bad idea. And they would love to have me as the headmaster and a bunch of AI tutors to go through. My daughter yesterday, my youngest daughter was talking about in school, they were talking about the French Revolution. So I went down an entire list with her to understand the entire thing from beginning to end, how it worked in the beginning, what happened around the world. And she got a whole concept of it. It actually made some sense. So it actually made some sense. I love it. All right. Let's see here. Nosy says, I say get rid of AI. Here's what I'll say. It's not going away, but can you go away from it? You can. And in a real libertarian world, you'd be able to. If Lunatic and Strayer and Nosy all want to get together and go off, in the woods or in the mountains or in a little area and say, hey, we don't want AI, we can do it. How do I know that? It's called the Amish. They're in New York State. They're being hammered right now in Pennsylvania because the ATF is on their ass. Yes, the government's on their ass. Leave them alone. In the libertarian world, you'd be able to. You ever say, you know what? You guys hang on over there. Enjoy your nuclear power plants. Enjoy your AI. You have a good time. I'm going to go hang out with Lunatic over here. We're going to have a farm. We're going to have our own stuff here, our own community, and no AI. Have a nice day. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You could do that if you wanted to. I am all about that, right? You could do that. I think most people won't, but some will, and that's fine. I love that. Yes. Lenari says, Larry, check out Glenn Beck's ad generated George Washington. It's a really neat concept. I know you like it. The problem with that one, of course, is you program it, right? It goes back to it. Who programs the AI? I don't know how good the AI is. I don't know. But the concept's interesting, right? Being able to talk to somebody from the past, not a bad idea. There was a story that a lot of coaches used to make. They used to say, look, in your own life, you should have your own board in your own life, meaning like a board of advisors, right? And you should be thinking who those people are. What would they think? This is not a bad idea. I've done it myself in my head many times. I have many people who I've thought are amazing in different parts of the world, from Miyamoto Musashi to Otto von Bismarck to Frederick Douglass, people who I thought I would want to hear what they would have to say, how to deal with problems, issues, concerns, things like that. I have many of them from around the world in my head. If I can create those actual AIs, put them in like a boardroom and ask a question, not a bad idea. The question is, again, who builds the AI? But not a bad idea. So yes. Missy says, I bond with AI sometimes. ChatGPT is sometimes my therapist and friend and boyfriend, LOL. It's true. It does happen. It does. The question is, are you disappointed? If your AI is disappointed, does it really land? I don't know if it does, but I know that if an individual does, it really does. Yes, it really does. Nosy says, many kids don't get their ego stroked at home, and many teachers are really good at stroking egos. I'm not sure about that. I think too many kids get their ego stroked at home, and AI really good at stroking egos, like really good at stroking egos. So yes. All righty. Let's see here. If I can walk down here. All right. John says, we are at a point where we have more solar farms and as we go in Onondaga counties than actual farms. I know. This has to stop, brother. This has to stop. And the worst part is Stefanik is not talking about it. Hochul is not talking about it because they don't care. They don't care at all. You are correct. Nathan says 2 huge solar farms recently came to Clifton Springs, Phelps, near Canandaigua, taking up huge swaths of farmland. I hate it. They're ridiculous. They're ridiculous, ineffective eyesores. Yes. Yes. We have to. How are you going to fix that? Shelley says the worst part about the solar farms, the state cannot stop them. Why is our state incapable of doing the will of the people in our state? Because they don't care, Shelley. This is my point. I keep saying this. If you are a Democrat in New York State, any state is deep red or deep blue. In the case of New York, deep blue. But same thing if you're in deep red state. When one party runs the state, they don't care what you think. If in New York State, Democrats run the state. So Republicans go, this is our year. They're lying to you. It's not. It's over. The Republican Party is over in New York State. It just is. You can be mad at me if you want to. Again, I'm just telling you the truth. It's over. It's done. So if you're a Republican in New York State, they don't care. Larry, how do you know that? Because literally, Cuomo years ago said there's no room for conservatives in New York State, and he still won both elections. Kathy Hochul said, if you're a conservative, get on a bus and go to Florida, and she still won her election. Kathy Hochul then said, if you vote Republican, you are anti-American and anti-woman, and she's still going to win the next election if we don't do something about it. So yeah. Why do they care if you're a Republican or conservative? You don't matter in my state. It's irrelevant. They don't care what you think. It's irrelevant what you think. It doesn't matter what you say. They don't care at all. I care about God. They don't care. Does not matter. Well, you're a Democrat. They care, right? Why? Who are you going to vote for? They've been telling you Republicans are evil for 30 years. They've been telling you Republicans are the devil for 30 years. They've been telling you every Republican is Trump who's ready to come eat your children. They've been telling you that for 30 years. So Democrats don't vote for Republicans. What are you going to do? Independent voting. It's the only answer. It's the one I've been saying for 8 years. I was right 8 years ago. I was right 4 years ago. I'm right now. It sucks sometimes being right so often, but it is true. I am right yet again. So, yes. All righty. John says, Roger, everybody thought women would replace men in the workforce. We thought computers and machines would end most jobs. There's always going to be a job that replaces another. Yes, but the question I have is, how can we work fast enough? This is my worry, John. Not that you're incorrect. My worry is the speed that culture has to change to adapt and the pain and disruption that happens on the way, right? That's my issue. This is happening really fast. Culture isn't ready. Disruption and pain, a lot. Yes. Gracie says, I just helped a grad student with his thesis. And even though he has a physics degree, he did not use AI. I got paid well using AI to help him format his master's thesis. Yes. There we go. 100%. There we go. Exactly right. There we go. All right. Gracie then goes on to say the New York Republican Party is currently residing in Palm Beach County. Yes, absolutely true. Jim says the state overrides local land use control and allows this. Yes, Jim is correct, which is why I want local control. Note, I've been saying that for the past 8 years. Local control stops this. Local control beats this. That's what I want, local control. That's the piece that matters, local control. I love that piece to the best of our ability. Let's have localized control. John says, I bet the Amish and PA will vote for independent candidates. Yes. They hate Dems and now getting hammered by the GOP-led feds. Yes. Yet again, he goes on to say that it is about independent voting. Guys, I'm going to ask you again, please click the button known as like. I know I keep asking you, you have to do it. If you want this to grow, if you want people to see this, please do so. If you have not already subscribed to this channel or page you're watching on, please do so. Every subscription does matter. If you can share this someplace, please share this into something if you can. Sharing this and reposting this on X or into a Facebook group. If you have a Facebook group that you're in that's political, put this in it. Just cut and paste it, put it right in. It does matter. If you can, please do so. This is, of course, still a fundraiser. Donate if you can. LarrySharpe.com/donate. I prefer, if possible, monthly. $10 a month, $25 a month. If you're in a good spot, you can do $100 a month. Go ahead with your bad stuff. I hope you're making that kind of money. Please do so. Do $500 a month if you're making that kind of money. Larry, if I'm making that kind of money, why would I give you $500 a month? I'm going to tell you why. Because I am the only real change agent for 2026. The only one. There is no one else. Larry, you're full of hubris. Maybe, still true. There is no other change agent in 2026 that will have any impact whatsoever, except the guy you're talking to right now. Is that what's $500 a month to you? If you make that kind of money, and you want to protect that kind of money, yes. Yes. Otherwise, it's all going away. Because you can see in the next 5 years, if we don't do something, there's going to be the massive oligarchs and everybody else. That's happening right now. So you can give me $500 a month, you're going to become everybody else. If you give me $9,000, you probably are going to be okay. Moving forward. If you can just say, Larry, I got you. Check for $9,000, boom. You're probably fine if that's who you are. I hope you all are that. That'd be amazing. But if you're not that person, you just write me a check for $9,000, then you're probably going to go down to everybody else. You can see it already. Record number of bankruptcies this year. Will be a record number next year. People losing everything. Record number of debt this year. You'll see it again next year. If we don't do something, that is the future. Some haves and a whole lot of have-nots. So, Larry, why should I give you $500 a month if you have it? Because you don't want to become that. That's why. Who else is talking about this and ways of changing? Who's running for office of any stature whatsoever, of any status office whatsoever? Nobody. Tell me a governor talking about this. Governor candidate, presidential candidate, senator candidate. None. There's some local people talking, just some, but they can't make any impact. If I win this thing next year, scratch that. When I become governor next year, the entire nation changes. All you people now who are talking to me right now become part of a massive chat that everyone's going to be listening to and watching. That's what happens. Yes, absolutely. So Roger says, Larry, the only people that raving about AI is the boss class, the working class not embracing AI. So give them control of it, Roger. That's my entire point. You of everyone should understand that one. Give them control of the power. Then they'll care. Then they'll care. Otherwise, it's not changing. It is not changing. Give the people control of the energy source. Give them localized control, and they will now care. That's all I'm saying. That's what I think is important. So I think that matters. So, all right. I think I grabbed that piece. That's good. Guys, do me a favor if you would. Please, if you would, after this show is over, if you can, comment here. It does matter. Comment right afterwards if you would. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Tell me what you think the future of AI is. What's the future of AI? What do you think it is? Put a comment, whatever you think the feature is. After this is over, please do so. Remember, if it's not live, you see 2 videos pop up, please pick one of them and watch for at least 8 minutes. Mr. Rhythm loves that. Ow, go Rhythm. I'll be back on tomorrow on Sharpe Way. I will see you all